So Durif just became our second subscriber ever. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you. And you should have. I was gonna mention that you should have a first badge now in chat. If you type something, you might be able to see it. But yeah. Anyway, welcome everyone to Weekly Milestone show here on Twitch, and we got all kinds of things to talk about today. Obviously, and I'm sure throughout she will in fact be meaner to me. But thank goodness then that Mars can only stay with us for about an hour, and then she'll have to go.
Yes.
But yeah, look at that. Durif has a first badge in chat. There's only 8 more of those left for anybody that wants them.
Since Mars is going to leave, I am going to take on the responsibility of being mean to Eric's for the rest
of. Oh no. 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 All right.
Oh, that's why you have to lean on me then to get.
I know.
I don't think that's a very difficult job for either of you.
Tiani's never mean to me. Thank goodness.
Well, you give us more reasons to be mean to you.
That's not
to balance me out.
Oh my god.
So since I'm leaving,
oh my!
Do you want to cover?
You're leaving already?
Not right now. I said since I'm leaving early.
Okay.
If you'd let me finish.
Okay.
Do you want to cover some of the topics that I want to talk about first?
Oh, okay. Sure, we can
so
talk
let's
about
rearrange things.
Oh, okay. Okay, we can do that. Apparently, Techta thinks that it's welcome to the weekly Femdom stream. So
what?
That's what he said.
Who?
Okay with this.
Oh my god.
I'm totally fine with that. As long as it's not with Eric's. That's gross.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can we have a better example, please?
Can you have a better what? What did you say? Oh. Why did I do this to myself?
Let's just go for the stuff that we're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So
let's start.
Let's talk about the Discord improvements.
Okay, you can lead that because I didn't read it too much. So.
Okay.
Go ahead.
They made a lot of improvements. I mean, I didn't check out the server itself on my main character, but I did on a different one, and they made a really nice thing. So if you message the bot in a bot specific room, you can, as if you're talking on the newbie channel itself. They integrated the bots with the game, which is actually really cool, and it brought up a thought that I had about more integrating things, integrating the live character, well, the gods and the NPCs in other things too. Like there was this book that I read a while ago. Let me give you a little bit of background before I can make my suggestion that I had in mind and have it make sense. So a while ago, I was reading it's one of those interactive books that you just download on your phone and you like you make decisions and it influences the way the book progresses, right? It's like a text adventure book basically. But the cool thing about this specific company is that they allowed characters from the book to have Twitter accounts, and if you texted them or if you set tweets to them at once a week or however long, you were able to accumulate currency from that interaction for whatever the environment was in the book. So, and I thought that would be a really cool thing to do if they allowed the gods or the NPCs to have Twitter accounts that we can interact with in character on Twitter. That would be a really great way to spread, market the game also and spread news about it and attract a bigger culture probably.
Right.
What do you think?
Well, you'd have to get over there would be people that would be like, "Oh, that's not in character because it's on Twitter and stuff like that," and you would just have to get around that.
Those characters are that's what I was saying is the character the accounts work for characters, and their shell accounts like if you created the tutor in whatever city and you went to the tutor and you said, "I hate this book, can you throw it away?" or whatever, just little interactions like that. They should all be in character. I see why they shouldn't.
I'm just a bit wary when it comes to separation, because there are a lot of people who have problems with that already. I'm not one of those who always am strict with that because I know that it's a problem for me too sometimes. But separation is an issue, and if you add something like that, it might cause even more problems. So I'm
See that. Yeah, I could see a lot of people do actually. I've run into a few people that do actually have problems separating their
Yeah.
emotions from their characters. So yeah, I could see it, but it was a thought.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree with Yanni.
more,
Like,
more promotion is always good, but we can do it in different ways than involving our in character our own characters. We can try to promote with snippets of events that happen or small log parts or something like that that we can share as this is something fun that happens in the game. Come check it out.
Yeah, I think they already do that when they talk about the major things that they release with their emails and things like that.
Yeah.
I think involving the characters outside the world just opens up a little bit of play. But you're right. People do have to learn limits before that can be a thing.
Were you gonna say something, Isia, about that?
yeah, I was actually just gonna agree with Tiani. I think that it's better that things stay separated because, I mean, immersion is a thing.
Yeah.
And for me, if it's happening in game, it's legit. But anything that's not happening in the game, like people trying to, have these discussions on Discord and plan things that are going to happen in game, just do it in game. And I think adding like social media or Twitter to that would just make the problem worse than it already is.
Right.
Unfortunately.
All right. Well, let's see here. So, as far as the Discord improvements, I looked at the announcement post, and I looked at the bots, and I looked at the way it's laid out in the combat channel, but I'm still, like I mentioned a few weeks ago, I'm still generally staying away from the official Discord. So I like what they did, but it's just, to me, it doesn't apply to me too much. But I think anytime you can add improvements like that to the Discord, it's fine, and it's good. And Tetch just said in the Twitch chat, I'm extremely worried I'm going to accidentally shit post on the newbie channel. Yeah, that could be a downside too. Accidentally saying stuff on a newbie channel that you don't mean to, and I could see that just randomly like going wrong in the worst way with like all these negative stars aligning. Like how sometimes you feel really unlucky. I
Don't you
would
have
be
to
afraid.
specifically trigger the bot to message? I don't know how it works. I'm just curious. Don't you have to specifically talk to the bot to be able to post on the newbie channel?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, is it possible to get some, are you sure you want to post this in the newbie channel kind of thing? I don't know how Discord works, but that would be kind of a neat thing to make sure that people don't shit post.
That would get annoying after a while if you're trying to have a whole conversation.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
They
I
said in
suppose.
chat, but once you're verified to the bot, there's no limits apparently. So
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
all right,
It's still a cool feature that they integrated Discord
Yeah.
with the channel. It's progressive thinking, and I admire that very much.
Yeah.
For sure.
I
It's
usually go in
really
there to ask questions, so I'm not in chatting much in the
Yeah.
visual Discord.
And it does cater to the people who fear, breaking immersion because it is only with the newbie channel, and that's an out of character channel. So there's that.
Yep.
Good idea.
Yep, yep.
And
Let's talk about mining.
who would rather keep newbie off in game because it breaks their immersion. I know for me, I try to keep things like unbiased as possible, so you won't really see me on the Atolia Discord often. And same for forums, though. Like I don't really mess with forums very often because I want my in-game interactions to be authentic to what's happening in game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There is also a culture around like the people just being withdrawn from the forums and from the server just because there was a lot of negativity in the past, and I feel like all of that has kind of dissipated lately. There's a lot of positive things happening, a better culture, a better environment, just a better mood all around. So it might be a good time to reevaluate being involved in those things if you have the time. Just I don't see why I shouldn't be able to just give it another try.
Yeah. It's it's dependent on each individual and the way they see
Yeah,
it too. So
yeah,
I have my
exactly.
reasons for not wanting to be on the Discord. I said them before and they haven't really changed. So but I still like that the Discord's there. I mean, obviously I still use it to let everybody know when the stream's going and it's useful for that. And I like
Yeah.
the idea that me just sitting in it, I can still like people that are in it can DM me if they want. That's useful to me too. But
Mhm.
you know,
I just don't want to I know me and I know how my mind works, and I don't want to form opinions of characters based on their players too much.
mhm,
Something like not a lot of people know is when I took over Vanguard and Anorian, I deleted my Discord because people were blowing my Discord up about city stuff,
mhm,
and there was not much limit. Anybody that was my friend, or they felt like they were close to me in game, they would bring me stuff on Discord when I was trying to do stuff with my kids or spend
Yeah.
time with family and not be in game. And I had to cut ties with a bunch of people. There's a lot of people I still don't talk to, and now I'm very selective about who is and isn't on my Discord. So for me, it all ties back to that separation thing, and it's just easier for me to not.
yep,
Yeah.
fair enough. What do you think, Tiani, about Discord?
Yeah, I've stepped away from leadership roles kind of completely. I've because I got burnt out, and I think that it's a very tricky situation to be in a leadership position because people really want your attention, and if you're not giving it to them, it's yeah, being poked at constantly on Discord can be quite frustrating. I didn't have that much of an issue with it because most people knew that I was away and I didn't check my Discord that often uh, for that reason. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna since Mars is on a time limit, like we said, I'm gonna let her pick the next topic. What would you like to talk about
Okay,
from the
let's do
list?
mining.
Mining? Okay, yeah, I put in the list that continued discussion on mining because it's still a relatively new thing, and we also had the next season end since the first season ended, where there was that kerfluffle with the lignite coal and stuff. Um, I don't know if anybody forgot again. I know that I did not forget this time. I also had one of my gnomes die for the first time. That was
Oh
quite the
no.
experience. Yeah,
How did you kill him?
I didn't kill him. Like maybe I did on accident.
I mean, you're the responsible party here.
I just know where you're going with this. But
How did he
anyway,
die?
I
it
don't know.
it was I believe he died due to. I was putting torches around where they were mining, and I did not realize there was a damp there.
Oh, aren't you supposed to use the canaries to tell you, to warn you?
Yes, and they did
Okay.
warn me, and then I still put the torch in the wrong place, and they exploded, and he
The
died.
poor gnome.
I wonder, did it actually, when you put the torch, did it burn you as well?
It did.
Oh, okay.
That's apparently
Wow.
very
Hard luck
important to
all
you.
around, huh?
Yeah. Accident.
But so mining has been fun
Yes.
lately. My only frustration with it was so far has been interacting with the warehouse. I don't
Right.
yeah, I don't get why there's a limit on what is it, 31? Or you have to have at least 31 in there for it to process. And if you have less, you're kind of stuck for a while until you're able to ship more
Yeah.
more to the city, and then you have to just sit there and wait while it draws on your bank account every single day. So I don't see why there's a limit there.
Yeah. That particular limit
It's the
though.
same thing for farming. You have to have a specific amount, I think, for it to process.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's dependent on the level of the production building, like the smeltery in that case. Like we have a
right.
level 2 smeltery, and so it lets us process them when you have 31. Now, if we had a level 3 one, it would be less than that. But it does kind of suck to have stuff sitting in the warehouse you can't do anything with, and then it just like draws gold for another like 2 whole weeks basically. So, but
Yeah.
it is
Can
what it is.
or in your cache or something like that?
No, it won't. It has to be ore that came from the cart, the crate.
Yeah, like the caravan.
Yeah.
Well,
And
before
after
you
the end
put
of
it
the
on
month.
the caravan,
Say that again?
before you put it on the caravan, can't you put it in your cache or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, sure you can. And then you can take out the right
That's
amount. But
basically what I do. So if because I don't use farming a lot, I have not tried mining, so I have no idea how that works, by the way. But for farming, if I remember to actually go out and do stuff with my farm, I just harvest what I can, and then after that, I put everything in my cache. And then when I feel like, oh yeah, right, I have a bunch of cotton here, I might actually do something with it. Then that's when I go back to my farm and toss it in and try to get it processed.
yeah,
Uh,
so that's
I'm,
one way of doing it.
yeah,
It's also, I
and
should note that,
when you have enough, you can send it. But before then, you don't have to keep
yeah,
it.
I don't think I read it anywhere that I needed to have. I think this is just my first run through, so I didn't read anywhere that you had to have specific amount at the warehouse. That probably was like inherited information from farming, but
Yeah. Well, what you have to do to see that number, now that I think about it, because we were talking about this a little bit before the stream, but and then I thought about it just now. You have to go like physically go to the smeltery and type city production info, and then it shows you all the information about the smeltery, and it'll tell you how many you need to have to process.
yeah,
And
that makes
31's
sense.
right there. But yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
just it's weird. Like there's a lot of commands with mining and farming, and it's like maybe we
I have
could.
one other issue with mining, and that's the your ability to take out a lot of things, like a group of ores from the storage. I imagine right now if somebody has
Yeah.
like 100 in there and they spam taking out 100, it's gonna probably lag the whole game.
Yeah, it
It probably
sucks.
has already happened. But yeah, so it's like there has to be a way to get all of them out without
Yeah.
lagging everybody. That could get annoying.
Well, if
So
you
that's something that
well, I was just gonna say, well, if you notice, like whenever you have them stored in there like that, if you look at mining storage, it doesn't even
Mhm.
stack them in a stack. It like has them all as their own individual item, which I think is
Yeah.
part of the problem, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably just improvement, quality of life things that need to continue
Yeah.
happening for the
Yep. And I know they listen to this stream and they want to know what we all collectively think. So it's good to
definitely
make note of
anything
that.
that reduces lag is definitely an important aspect.
All right.
You always pick up on small things. That's always good. Nice to know that they are listening. And I mean, we all know that they can't pick up on everything, and some of
Right.
our ideas are probably stupid. It's
Right.
okay, and that's how it is. So.
But some are really great actually, like Raz was very responsive to I built my foreman office in this little corner when I thought it was a cool place to put
Right.
an office, but I didn't realize you needed somewhere that's a little bit more open to get the rails to it easily.
Oh
So
yeah, right.
Yep.
that was I wanted to blow up my office and I couldn't blow it up. So that's when he kind of put in the command to deconstruct. So they're very responsive, very
Yeah.
quickly to do things. Yeah, and I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how many of these things, like being able to redo your office, are things that they had in the design of the skill that they just didn't put in initially, and they're like, "Oh yeah," Mars then reminds them of it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I should probably have done that." But
Yeah.
I just find that sort of thing fascinating. But Isia, have you?
Probably a few things. I mean, it's when you start something or when you open up something new, there are always initial bugs. It doesn't matter how
Right.
much you've been fiddling with it before you release. There are
Yeah.
always a few things.
And there's that moment of, oh, we didn't think about this. Here, like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I just find that fascinating. Yep. Eliadon says, "Yeah, that's part of the problem with closed development. Sometimes you just miss features that would be useful." Yep,
Yeah.
because everybody's human, even the people that make the game. So
Or
That's
there's a
important to remember.
bug with what someone says and they say the wrong thing, and all of a sudden you realize that, oh, maybe I should have had that mob say this thing instead when I released that quest. And then it would have been much better and more reasonable for people to actually understand.
Yeah.
But this is all why we have the idea feature.
Yeah.
Yeah. The idea feature is really good. And it's always fun to see when things that you have put in there are implemented. It makes you feel like you've actually done something good.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, Isia, do you have mining? Have you messed with it at all yet?
No, things like gathering and like so farming, mining, anything like that is not really something I'm super interested in. It's like I have my mechanics that I like and I really like them. Questing, exploring, bashing, hoarding all the mini pets. Love it. But then I get like
Yeah.
I add too many elements and I start like slacking back on others and it's just not a good scene for me. So
Gotcha. Well, how have you felt about it from like the city leader perspective? Because I know you were saving for the buildings for it forever for the city.
it was Heliana was actually trying to get me to reinstate gold rewards and I'm like, no, we're waiting for mining. Because I really thought I was going to get to the point where we could save and have all the buildings upgraded immediately.
Yeah.
Did not happen, but we got level 2 of everything immediately, which was nice. And we didn't have to like ask the guilds for tithes or anything like that. So from a city leader perspective, I'm loving it because we have more control over what we can give our, pricing for our commodities.
Yeah.
And I'm not having to like message Raz every couple months and be like, hey, you remember all this leather you refunded us from farming buildings? Can I trade some of that for metals? People need metal.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Which I will say Raz was like always super accommodating with that.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to not be doing it anymore.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, up in Spines Reach, I know that Fezix had planned on, donating a huge amount of gold just to make sure that we got the upgrades that were needed, and then he disappeared, so he hasn't come back yet. We don't know. He's sitting on a pile of gold, like a dragon hoarding it.
Yeah, somebody in chat just said Isia was a dragon that was hoarding.
That is Eliadan, and it's actually my return message. If you send me a messaging, he accused me of that on the city channel.
Yeah, well, it's out there, so if anyone can convince him to come back to Spines Reach, it would probably solve a lot of gold issues for the city if that needed. Since I'm not a city leader anymore, I don't really keep check on Spines Reach economy.
Seeing that now I went and bought my flash sale credits for the day from Isia, and we can all see her message she was talking about, her return message.
All right.
All right.
Are you gonna make me do work right now?
No, you can do it later. It's fine. I just wanted them to see your return message, and I thought I'd be productive while I was doing it.
Until like howling tomorrow.
It's okay. All right, Mars, do you want to lead us to the next topic? Or do you have anything else to say on mining?
Nope, it's fun. It's great. I love it.
Yep,
I
me
wish
too.
I had more time to play. That's all.
Me too.
Starfall?
Yeah, let's do Starfall because this will be fun. Tiani's here and has words, and I think Isia has words. I have words. I don't know if you have much to say about this, Mars.
Let's hear the words.
Let's hear all the words. Okay.
Let's hear all the words.
So, who wants to start?
I will.
Okay.
I would like to apologize to everybody who participated for giving Jen the idea to go to Kana at the last minute.
Yeah.
He got that from me, and I am deeply sorry.
Like, checking, and he was nowhere on the list of the top 10, and the last 5 minutes, and then I suddenly checked the score, and I'm like, I've been at the top for about, 15 minutes now, and all of a sudden, there's Jin. Where did he come from? He just popped up there, and he was like, what? So I was like, okay, let's pick it up a notch because obviously someone did something. So I was running around and it was like, I didn't have enough time at the end because I was like, oh no, it's okay. I sort of have this in the bag. It looks
Right.
like it's okay.
It's fine.
And then he's just popping up. I was like, oh well, you know. It was frustrating, but at the same time, yeah. Well, it's a game and that's what's supposed to happen.
For
I
sure.
was a bit tired as well because I wasn't expecting to be on because it was, in the middle of the night. It was past 3 a.m. and I had work in a few hours after, so I was very tired, but I was doing my very best.
That's a lot of dedication for you to wake up that early just to play.
Ah,
Hats off.
but I told you I only turns 20 once, so I figured why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of dedication anymore. I did,
Yeah.
and then once I had kids, that all went out the window.
Yeah, well, I had kids when I started playing this, so I mean, right now it was more like, do I have the energy? I mean, I'm old.
Me too.
You know, I don't look it, but I'm not young anymore. And doing this sort of did a number on my sleeping schedule, and thankfully I only had a very, very, very boring meeting in the morning the day after, so it was fine. Um, but yeah, I'm not making a habit of that one, I'll tell you. So I'm very happy about the event schedule because it looks like I can be in on a lot of things anyway.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I was really happy to see that they included things on different hours so that
Yeah,
European and non-American time zones were included. That was
yeah,
very
I'm
considerate.
Yes.
really happy about that one.
And
Cool.
things like the Kingslayer tournament, like where it's more flexible as to when you can participate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
I'm gonna
good.
try that one. I have never played this, so I have no idea what it is, and I'll probably, fall out on in the first bracket. But might
No.
be fun to just test it.
Isia is like very paranoid about the Kingslayer game from a city leader perspective because it's like the kill the city leader game.
Right.
And he noticed very early on that the orbs had K marks on them, which are for Kingslayer, but it happened at the same time as the cult stuff.
Oh, right. So
And
it's
so
sort of
she's,
connected to. Oh,
yeah, she's convinced there's like some kind of magic attached to this game that's going to up and kill her one day.
yeah.
That'd be
That's
kind of cool.
good. So when the Kingslayer tournament starts, Isia is actually going to go into hiding.
Very well made. She
Oh
had
no.
very strong feelings about the last one.
Yeah. Well, it's. I think it's a great schedule, and I'm hoping that Americans are not upset that not everything is around howling, because I think that a lot of other people are very happy that they can actually participate in a lot of things. I don't know how
I'm
what it
not
looks
upset
like
in the
for
least.
what is it for Australians and uh, people in those time zones, but I think that there's room for basically everyone to participate in stuff.
I will say, as
So let's talk about the mechanics of the Starfall. Is it I only played for a little bit, but is it any different now from what it was back then? I
No,
remember back then you
no,
had to like collect meteorites, but now
Same
this time
thing.
you were digging.
No, you did this time. They were also meteorites this time. This was
and it,
also the first time I had ever done it on any game or on
Gotcha.
Atolia or anything.
the
I've
big thing is
few
you
of
hear them.
What is it?
basically the same thing that I've been involved in since before, and I think that it might be a fun idea if for Starfalls in general they just shift up the descriptions to make it a bit more difficult
Yeah.
for people who have never participated compared to people who have done this before.
Right.
Oh, you mean
Even
ones that are
myself can
already
play
triggered?
here because I have all the everything set up for it, but at the same time, I don't mind leveling the playing field. So just having different descriptions so that people don't know exactly what to target for when they pick things up might be an idea. I don't know. Might be too much work for a fun game, but
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Mars?
I don't remember anymore.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
but I think that it was part of your idea. We discussed it a bit before.
yeah.
Oh, I think we were talking about the Great Hunt before.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
all too when
Yeah.
changing descriptions on things.
Oh yeah, just to keep things a little bit fresh. It's not difficult to change the trigger lines, just to give refresh them like you were saying, just to make it new.
I
Basically.
had the triggers, and for some reason they weren't firing. So I was like running around expecting to have everything triggered and running smooth, and I was just having to move the rooms. And that did not happen. So I spent the whole time manually picking up meteorites and wondering why my triggers weren't working. And it was a very frustrating hour for me.
Did you
I
have the
understand
triggers
that.
turned on?
What was that?
Did you have the triggers turned on?
I did.
Okay.
I know what happened, and I'm not a coder. Like most of what I have, other people have written for me. So I don't really like know how to fix things, but basic triggers I'm usually okay with. And for some reason, I just could not get those to work. And then I lost a lot of time because I was trying to get them to work. And honestly, howling is such a bad time for me, anyways, because I'm a mom. I have little kids. That's dinner time. That's bath time. That's read me a story time. And, it's 7 p.m. for me.
Yeah.
So I've got like all this other stuff going on at the same time.
Yeah,
And
howling was not a good time for me either. It's like 4 or 5 around here on the Pacific side, and it's usually when I'm getting off work or trying to get home or trying to get dinner started, stuff like that. It's just
Yeah.
it's a hit or miss. If I prepare for it the day before or the week before, then I might be able to, but it's a lot difficult nowadays.
it was like 5 minutes till 8, and my husband's looking at me, and I was finally making some headway before I tipped Jen off. And
Yeah.
my husband's looking at me like, "Are you gonna feed us?" And I'm like, "But I am."
The poor guy.
I would be like, no, go feed yourself.
Yeah, so he had just gotten off work, and he does like physical labor. He was like all tired.
Aw.
He's like, "I just want dinner."
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say that from the perspective of somebody that's never done a Starfall until then, and I know there was definitely I would say there's definitely other people that never done a Starfall as well. It would have been nice if there, like, I know there's a help file for it, but like, I didn't really understand that it was going to be like all the stars would fall globally. I thought they would like fall one by one in different areas, but like, I don't feel like there was a lot of explanation on the event itself, and I didn't know that it was just gonna like start all of a sudden with no explanation.
God.
So
I feel like right now I really wanna make this reference about Eric's being Chicken Little.
what
Just
the
for some
hell?
reason.
What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
You don't
Yeah,
understand stars falling, the sky's
Oh my
falling, and
god.
I don't know, I want one star to fall at one time.
Well,
That's wrong.
I took the tactic of what I did when I did the treasure hunt that I did really well on, and I just like went to some areas that I knew when I did treasure hunt that no one was doing but me, and I started there. But I just like I also didn't start until like 10 or 15 minutes after howling because I did some milestones first. But like I was just kind of waiting for an announcement that it was starting, and I never saw it. And I'm like, wait, it's already started?
It always
Like
starts with just a normal, like if you get an event start,
yeah,
that's basically it. And it says help Starfall in the beginning, and that's basically just read up on it. But it might be a good idea if the admin is waiting to give a few shout outs before it starts, just to tell people to read help Starfall. And
I
then
think we
you can
tried to.
really go into help edit and give some more information into it, so that's not a problem.
yeah. I
Because
also
I think it would be a good idea if all those are updated to make sure everyone can at least understand what's going on.
Yeah. Also would say that I'm not trying to be too negative about this Starfall because first off, again it's the first one I've ever done. I didn't expect to win the whole damn thing or anything, but like I think that it's good that um it was a good learning experience for me, and I would like to see them do Starfalls and things like that more often. But like we talked about before we started the stream, maybe that would make them less special. But I feel like with the way they've been doing things lately, it's probably more likely we will see them more often. And I also wouldn't want to complain about it too much because honestly, it was only an hour. It's not like it was it's kind of like complaining about like an arena event. It's
Yeah.
not something that
Yeah.
takes forever anyway. So
I mean, that it was kind of fun because when they started out meeting up at North of Trees, everyone started at the same place. So you had to basically be there to join
okay.
in. And that meant you couldn't just run off and be in, the far end of Albedos, or you couldn't be in the Decay Plateau when things started. You had to be at North of Trees. So everyone starts at North of Trees, and then after that, you spread out from that place. So everyone starts at the same spot, and then it's just a matter of picking your
Right.
location that you want to start in.
Yeah.
I joined a little later, but I joined from Anorian. I just walked out of Anorian and there was
Yeah.
a thing. Yeah, and
When
then I just started
the-
following them around.
Yeah.
And that's what
I liked the mechanics this time, though, that you were able to search for something and then you could figure out if you're close or too far. It was kind of like almost the same mechanics as the rainbow, search for your rainbow thing. I liked that, and I thought that was a little different from what used to happen in the past.
Yeah. I also like I would have loved to see the Resonance game among the celebration things, but maybe they'll pick that up if I say it, because that one is also a fun one.
Resident Walker's Tongue is another one that I really like.
Oh, that one is fun. I screwed up last time I played it though. I basically handed Fezzik the win.
I think you took me out last time. It was either you or Fezzik.
I think it was me, and then I screwed up against Fezzik right afterwards.
What it was.
He won on Fez. That was even more hilarious.
I'm not sure I know who it is in chat that's is that Jen in chat? OGNENE? Okay.
Yes.
I was just making sure.
I had to ask Air to come rescue me because there's like a cooldown between when you can ask to leave, and Jen left, and so I was like stuck there for like several minutes and I couldn't leave, and translocator didn't work, compendium doesn't work. So finally I'm like, Air, help. And she moved me to North of Trees. See, I got stars on my mind.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Starfall, we're gonna have a second one, obviously. It's probably gonna have a whole cast of different people that are doing it, obviously, because of the time difference. But I think Starfall was cool, and I look forward to doing another one someday. Now that I know how it works and everything.
Everybody's gonna run to Takana first thing.
Yep, they're gonna meet Jen there.
I would like to say though that I really appreciate that they kept it non-PK and non-sharing.
Yeah,
because
agreed.
there are a lot of other PK events going on, and this is one of those where everyone can join in.
Yeah.
And if you make it PK, the people who are not interested in PK will just basically say, "Well, I'm out then because I'm just going to be killed all the time, so there's no point."
Right.
Yes.
So I enjoy that the Starfall is kept non-PK. Everyone who likes the PK option can disagree with me, and I'm fine with that too. I know we're different, but I like that.
Yeah.
I also appreciated that it didn't come with the fame line. I was annoyed like a few years ago when every event, every small thing came with a ranking point and a
I
fame
have
line.
bad news about that. Jen
Like
actually did a fame line for that.
Yes, he did.
Who did?
Got it. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, never mind.
Yeah.
And that's kind of I remember that too, because it was frustrating for me because I was never there for the events that
Yeah.
gave the favorites. So I didn't
Yeah.
have a chance to participate in those things. And that's one of the things that makes it frustrating us Europeans. We miss a lot of those opportunities.
Yeah. I feel like the spider bomb event has permanently ruined the events ranking because you could that was very hackable. Has to be something in the future that's equally equally complicated to make it even again for everybody.
I still have 90 of those spider nests in my inventory, and I cannot get rid of them.
I know, me too.
I put them in 4
And you can't use them.
alcoves,
Right.
and they just come back.
That's pretty wild. All right, Mars.
Yeah.
I know you got about 20 minutes, right? Do you want to pick the next
Yep.
one again?
Sure. Let's do. How do you feel about the artisanals and the bardics?
Yeah, we can talk about that again. I'll start by saying, like I was telling you all earlier, I wanted to do a bardic, but like I realized after this past week, like working at the DMV, obviously that I don't have the time or the energy to do a bardic. I'm probably gonna sit it out, but I think Tiani said that she had worked on hers this week, right?
Basically finished mine Sunday morning, sent it in Sunday,
Very
and
cool.
I've been working on my artisanal since then. So
That's
right
exciting.
now,
They haven't had this in a very long time, and I think it's exciting that they're holding it now. So it's
yeah,
good to bring out. Yeah, it's good to bring out the competition and to have everybody have a break and like take out their creativity and just do
yeah,
new things.
I was
Like I
so
think,
pumped when they
fun
took
with it.
yeah, like Isia is doing something really new and different this time, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
What are you doing?
yeah, I'll go ahead and spoil it. I'm baking a cake for Artisanal.
Mm.
I love
The things I
it.
do is like I bake and decorate cakes. And so where I have like actually participated in arsenals before with drawings, I wanted to do something different this time. And so you'll get to see one of my cakes this time. So hopefully that does well. I have a really cool theme in mind for it. And I think I might take a crack at the Bardic too.
Yeah,
Cool.
I was like really excited. I was bummed that these things went away because I was participating in them like right before they went away, and then other IRE games were still doing them.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
As somebody who doesn't spend a lot of money on credits like outside the game, it was like a nice way for me to earn some.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And even if you got merit points and merits, and they were showing off, uh, you could show that you were engaged in the game and you had a passion for this place. I think it's important.
Yeah.
It's fan art in a way, and fan writing, fanfic.
Yeah.
So
And people love to get their art out there too. And like I've said a few times on the show here, if anybody ever wants to feature their art on here, I will find a way to do it. You just got to let me know.
yeah. It should be noted also, I think that it was mentioned last week, that if they choose to, if, for example, you provide some art for Itolia and they choose to feature it in some specific way, promotionally, you do get extra compensation for it. Like my map, for example,
Oh, that's cool.
the satellite map that's up on the website. Um, I got compensated in credits for that one.
That's cool.
That's great. And that's a really good map, by the way. Thank you for making it.
yes,
Nice.
it's beautiful. It's very well done.
Yeah,
I
when I read
kind
the
of
announcement post, I meant to send you a message and say, congrats, good work, thank you, but I never got around to it. So I'm doing it now. It's great.
no, but I'm kind of a visual kind of person, so I want to know what it looks like when around me. So I made it mostly for myself, but then I realized that might be other people who want to see this
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested to see like all the entries we get at the end because like people are saying in chat, oh, Tiani's already won the artisanal, but there's probably
Yep.
there's probably people that we don't even know about that are writing stuff too. That's gonna be cool to read.
Seriously, no, I have not won the artisanal. Last time I didn't win. Last time they had an artisanal in 2018, I did not win. And I'm not, sure I'm aiming for it, but I'm I'm not holding out for a win here. I'm just, participating because I think it's fun.
Right.
And I'm hearing so many good ideas that are, you know, so much fun to listen to it, and I'm just happy people participate. It's fantastic.
For sure. All right. And I didn't know you could like make something like Issy is doing with like making a cake and then taking a picture of it for the bardic. I didn't
Oh, you
or
You
the
do.
or
you
the
and I were
artisanal, yeah.
thinking. Yeah, you
Yeah.
were never restricted to just
Yeah.
writing a story or painting a picture. It's whatever your creativity goes toward.
I wonder if that counts making music too.
I think that they're the kinds of question though, because there are copyrights. Like whatever you create for this becomes owned by
Right.
IRE, right? So where does Isia's cake fall? Can they
Yeah.
own the cake
You
design?
have to share it with the IRE, so you have to send it to them so that they can eat it.
Oh,
You
well,
know,
Send them the recipe.
don't ship very well, and they are very expensive to ship.
yeah. Well, I will say that if you look at the users in chat, even though he hasn't said anything yet, as usual, our producers in here, Ictinus is watching or listening. So, oh, yep. And then he says something right after he says, "You're welcome to send me cake." Mm.
You want to drive to Texas to get cake.
I mean, okay, so I want to know what kind of cake are you making? Because I have my favorites.
No, I don't know what flavor it's
Oh,
gonna be yet. I know what theme it's going to be though, and it's going to be really cool. I'm
okay.
gonna airbrush, and I'm going to airbrush it like on the background, and then I'm doing silhouettes for the characters.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying anything more about the theme, but
Okay.
it's going to be really neat.
But the
I'm
cake
really
itself,
looking
I
forward
want
to
it to
this
taste
right
good.
now.
Is it going to taste good? That's my concern.
I would hope so. People pay like $100 and up for my cakes.
That's cool. Very cool.
I was gonna say in between here, since we're talking about it in chat, the ads. Part of getting affiliate is that they basically make you run ads when you get affiliate. I can adjust the length of the ads. I can do that. I can make them shorter. I'll do that between this week and next week.
Okay.
I will also say that like I'm not trying to sell it, but if you want to ignore the ads completely, because I can't really turn them off or anything, you can subscribe or whatever. That's part of one of the perks of subscribing. But I
You're really
will, but
trying
I
to sell
will
it here.
no, but like I will make them shorter too between now and then. So I
Yeah,
just
we're
wanted to
just
say that.
starting up with the affiliate, so there are a lot of things to figure out first.
Yeah, like I was gonna mention on that, and I'll just make this short because I want us to be able to talk about like at least one more thing before Mars has to leave. We also I have not got around to making like or figuring out what we want for the subscriber badges, but we're gonna keep working on that. Same thing with the emotes. But we did finish the channel points. Phoenicia helped me out and made a channel points icon, and we went with Ulim shards. And if you click it at the very bottom of the chat box where it says Ulim shards, it'll show you some of the rewards that I went ahead and made. They're kind of interesting. You got to save up a bit for them, but you can like make us talk as our character. You can change the topic with the channel points, that sort of thing. So I don't think anybody's gonna save up enough from one stream to do that, but maybe between now and then. Yeah, and I kept the message highlight like Mule just showed in chat because people love that sort of thing. Anyway, let's get on the next topic, Mars. What do you want to talk about next?
Okay, so I only have like a few minutes here. Let's do the Great Hunt. We were talking about it a little bit earlier before the show started,
Yep.
so we had a few very good ideas floating around. Tiani was mentioning how annoying it is for top tier people who are above 99 being able to enter lower tier areas and just completely clear them out, and it makes it difficult for the lower
Or
players.
to find places where they can actually, stand a chance of fight.
Yeah,
Because they
so it
have
makes
their
it
own gear, but they don't have their own places to go to, which makes it for them to try to fight
So
up.
we were thinking one solution to that would be to make it so that the NPCs in the lower ranking areas don't give points to the people who are in top tiers. That would make it so that they don't really go into that. Well, and if they do, if they choose to, they just won't get points. Right. So it would be a waste of their time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be one solution.
Only participating for the double experience that comes with the hunt, in which case they're getting that and not stealing points from somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that too. Maybe the experience, I don't know. But yeah, there's that.
I think this is one of the, and I will say there's some people, there's everybody's talking in chat. Techta says nobody's bashing all 100 areas and so forth. Ergo
Say that
Proximus.
low level area for the chat. Lower level area would be, for example, Magweir, Caverns of Moor, those are not areas that typically a high-end basher would go to, for example. Um,
That's
but
also
during the Great Hunt, those are probably easy pickings. They clear them out in a few seconds and then they're gone. And then the low tier person comes around and it's waiting game to see if they can actually hunt anything at all. So I don't know.
yeah, it's the whole Great Hunt thing. It's like obviously if you've spent a lot of money and you can bat and you're really good at bashing and you can like min max bashing and you're super bashing, you're able to get be one of those top 1 to 5 people on the rankings. Obviously you may not want things to change much because you've obviously figured out the Great Hunt, as a
Yeah.
thing.
In the
But but I think there are definitely ways that it could change in the future to actually I think it should be shaken up in general because I think it's been the same way so long that it's kind of been figured out by a lot of people. And I think that it's worth discussing to make changes to it. Um, that's just my opinion.
See, in the past, I feel like higher level bashers could justify going into those lower areas because there just wasn't a lot to bash and people were like everything would be wiped out completely. But in the past, like since the last Great Hunt, they've opened so many more bashing areas for high
Right.
level bashers that I don't feel like it should be an issue anymore. Like I know I haven't had as much problems this hunt finding things to kill consistently as I have in past years. So I think
Yeah.
there's like even less argument for them to be in those areas.
Yeah. So I mean, if a high level person can go into more and get 3 points for something that they can one shot kill, clear the area and get loads of points, they would rather go there than to go somewhere where they have to actually fight a lot to get the points. But a person who is lower level, they won't be able to go into a higher level area because they will be one shot killed instead. That's why they can't go out and find those other areas that the higher level people would go to.
Yeah, it's like obviously you have the tiers because people that are 99 and below aren't going to be able to go to these new high level bashing areas, and that's why they have their
Right.
own tier. But like people that are in the other tier are invading on the lower tier essentially, which feels bad for the lower tier people for sure.
That's why it would be kind of good if we were talking about it for a bit while we were warming up to the live show. So for example, if might was not connected to crafting things, like for example, might shows all your skills combined. So if you've tranced all the trade skills and all your other skills, you have a high might level, which means that you probably think that a lot of creatures or mobs are weak and feeble. The thing is that if you go out and you are a very crafty person, so you're maxing out all of the trade skills, and then you go out and you look at a creature and you haven't tranced any of your class skills or the hunting skill or anything that is related to actually bashing, and you look at a creature and it says that that creature is weak and feeble, it doesn't really make sense. As I said, it's sort of like going out and saying, oh, okay, so this creature is weak and feeble. It fears my needle because I'm a great person at sewing a sweater.
And then the animal eats your face.
Yes, and then they eat my face because I haven't learned how to actually hunt because I haven't put anything in my hunting skills. So if that was separated, meaning that if might was connected only to skills that are connected to actually fighting animals or fighting NPCs, bashing, uh, then they could probably set up a system where they connect might to how many points you get, which means that if the creature is weak and feeble, you don't get as many points for it as if this creature is more difficult for you to kill.
Yep. What do you think about it, Mars? Like, what do you think about all the Great Hunt stuff? I know
I think the Great
you've
Hunt.
bashed a lot in the past. I don't know if you're participating in this one particularly.
I'm not. It's unfortunate. I'm not because of any reason with the game itself or anything. It's just I have a lot of other obligations. But
Right.
I do enjoy hunting, and it's kind of a cathartic thing when you get into it at some point. But the nature of the Great Hunt itself is very competitive, and I participated in one a long time ago, and it was fun because if you even took a break to go get a cup of coffee or whatever, you got left behind. So I remember playing with a couple of friends and having to carry them through and get them resources and stuff to make sure that they can continue on without taking breaks. So there's a lot of fun to be involved to be had when you're doing it together and not alone like an isolated thing. So there's
Right.
a lot of fun. But when it comes to the mechanics of it, like Tiani was saying, using might or adding more restrictions to level out the playing field, or to maybe create more tiers, maybe not just between 1 and 99, maybe more tiers between them and allowing them to have a little bit more restrictions, probably just to, like we were saying, just to keep the points even between everybody, and maybe not award experience to people who want to hunt for, not in the Great Hunt itself, but people who just want to go bash around for experience, maybe just pick another day to do it or not get experience on that day. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my options.
Yeah, I just think like, there's gonna be some people like I wonder how many people are out there that think that the Great Hunt is fine as it is. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
yeah, I
Like,
mean, everybody has their own opinion, of
yeah.
course, and this is the three
Yeah,
of
that's
us who.
fine. I just wonder I wonder if everybody thinks something should be tweaked, or if like people think that it's it's
Well,
fine how it
Fine.
is, or like
how about so during the weeks this month, we have the one day a week where mobs respawn in half the time. How about turning that on during Great Hunts?
it
It
is
is turned on.
Is it?
it's in the
Yeah,
help
I
it's
think
in the help file. I had to
Yeah.
look at it too.
they respawn faster than normal, and you have double XP
Yep.
on.
Okay, I'm sitting here showing off my lack of reading now, so
That's
I'm just
okay. That's happened to all of us. It's happened to me frequently
Yep.
on this
So I'm
show.
gonna head out. It was really nice having me. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you
Yeah,
for
thank
coming,
you for
Mars.
coming.
Have a
Bye,
good
Mars.
day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Let me find that. Hide that. There we go. All right. And I can move you down a little bit now, Isia, in the middle here. There we go. All right. Yeah, like I think the Grey Hunt's okay. Like I thought I wasn't even going to participate in it, like I said last time, but then like I just started doing okay at it, and I want to level anyway, so I've been doing it, and I don't know. It's kind of it is what it is, and I just think it's kind of an interesting thing to me personally. That's
Yeah, well,
why I feel like it should be tweaked a little bit, just to shake it up and make it different and more interesting. But
for my part, I absolutely loathe bashing. I think it's the most boring thing in the game, and I know that it's people love it, and it's fine. I'm more the only reason why I'm saying that maybe this should be tweaked is because I've heard from other people about their struggles. So, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not participating in the Great Hunt. I think I might have reached 200 points or something like that because I've been questing.
yeah,
But I think that it's just, we should try as much as possible to make it fun for people who are lower level, because it's more likely that the lower level people are new players. So make it fun for them so they stick around,
yeah.
because we want them.
And
We
Yes,
need you.
your retention is important. Like
Yes.
I know the city leader, that's like one of the things that you take into consideration. And for world events, I think there could be more
Yeah.
done in that area to make it more fun for them, to give them a chance where it's not the same 5 people that win everything.
Right. Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing about a lot of these events is like if you shake them up, they're like I said before, they're not as figured out, and you don't have the same people winning them all. You know, and that it just kind of. I'm not trying to poo-poo the person that's winning them all, especially considering they're in chat, but like it's just
Yeah,
like
but if you look at, for example, like me suggesting that please shake things up with the Starfall, I know that I'm good at that. I'm not winning every time, and you know, I just feel like even though if I were winning the entire time, I would probably want them to shake it up to make sure that I don't stand as much of a chance
yeah.
because I like the even playing field and I want people to challenge me.
Yeah. Plus
That,
I imagine as somebody that like does well in it regularly and has pretty much figured it out, like I said, you probably would like more of a challenge because you've already figured it out.
yeah. I mean, and that's why I can't even be angry with Jin. He won fair and square.
Right.
It's just that at that time it was a bit frustrating because it was so
Oh,
close.
look at me. I died.
So, I mean, it's 8 points and it's in the last 10 minutes. So, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I didn't win. That's fine. I'll try better next time, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Well, I just died on stream, so that was something.
Yay!
I just ran out of health and actually realized that I ran out of health before I died. I'm very proud of myself right now.
Yeah. I also
I
want
never
to
die like all the time, and it's almost always because I ran out of health and didn't realize it.
I want to circle back a little bit to what actually Ergo Proximus said earlier because I wanted to point it out. One of the things I definitely agree with them on is the fact that it would be wonderful. And I know there's some of us that love this idea and there's some of us that hate it, but I would really love more instance areas, bashing areas in Aetolia. One of the things I hate the most about the game, and I've said this for years now, is how you have to compete with everyone else over almost everything in the game, like resource wise and bashing and everything else. That I love the Zanhall instance, and I wish there was more things like it. That's all
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
I think that it would be fun with more instances, and I mean, there are places that could be turned into instances. Yashal Barrow, for example, could probably be turned into an instant. Um, and just, doing more of these group things would be probably a fun idea. Like the Beneath is a really
Oh
fun
yeah,
idea.
I'd love to see
Uh,
more stuff like the Beneath. That I love
yes.
that dungeon.
And I mean, I don't do it a lot because uh, most of the time when I come around in the middle of the day, people are, they've already done it. So I'm like, hi, I'm here. Anyone want to do the Beneath? Oh, we're already done.
Right.
So, but I've managed to get a few people with me to get it done. But Chapel Garden was meant to be one of those things in the beginning. But now it's something that high-end bashers can clear by themselves.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, great hunts. Interesting. It's a little more interesting than I thought it would be because in my case, I didn't even think I was going to do it. So I had a little more opinions than I anticipated. All right, let's see here. I
really
manually
bored. I might try to get to what is it? Is it 2,500 points?
yes,
Yes. To get the 30 credits.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2,500.
Oh, yeah. If I get extremely bored, then maybe.
But you can kill like small things like
Yeah, I'll go for the crickets or something. Yep.
yeah. The rainforest. Rainforests are great for that.
Yep.
yeah. One place that I went that was kind of more lowish level that I did just for the points was Sparklight Rift because a lot of people don't go there in my experience.
Yep.
It's in the Sunder Loop for the Mist Path. I mean, so yeah, a lot of people kind of do go there.
The Mist's Path. What are you even talking about? Are you just talking about a thing that you have access to that I have no idea? What are you talking
You
about?
don't. No, Sunder has like a high loop and a low loop, and the low loop Like people bash that one for miss to turn in. I know you don't do that because you have all of your knives that you like to go burn in the fracture.
Oh,
But
okay.
if you're hunting for miss, like a lot of times you take the low loop on Sunder and it takes you through more. It takes you through Akiza. It takes you through Sparklight.
Mm.
And as Tiani, I can't say this word. The Macure Fisher.
Macqueer. Yeah.
Macqueer. Yes, there. So it takes you through like all those areas where there's a bunch of stuff that dies easy, so you can collect mist easier.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
It's
I did
you have
bash
to-
Volcano. I actually find that after the changes to Volcano that it's kind of like it's one of those areas where I can semi auto bash it. Like I would never like bash path it, but like once I get into a room of things that won't kill me immediately, I can like auto bash the room. I actually really like the Volcano after the changes and stuff to it. I actually honestly find it to be pretty medium and difficulty now, at least to me. So
Yeah, I haven't been in there more than, running through it. I tried to give the elder, the lava demon one a shot.
yeah, I've never got to do
For the
that yet.
same line. Yeah, I think I died like for 2.5 hours over and over and over and over again.
No, that's like
It
one
was
of
an interesting one. I think I lost maybe a half a level. So down from 143 to 142. That's quite a lot.
I honestly haven't attempted it because after 100, the amount of experience you lose every time you die, it goes up with your level because it's a flat 1%.
Yeah.
And so now every time I die before approaching, like without approaching, I lose 1 million experience right off the bat.
Yeah.
And it takes me hours to get that back.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just not even worth it to me. I want that fame line like really bad. And I want the Basilisk Queen completion for the quest. And I can't bring myself to do that because I'm going to lose like hours and hours of work for it. And it's just not worth it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Ergo Proximus was talking delete experience loss in chat.
No,
I
don't even
mean,
think.
Uh,
No, it's not even that severe, but like if it was like a flat number of experience rather than the 1%, which changes as you go up, then I think that would be better. Like, say you lose a flat after 100, you lose a flat 100,000 experience every time you die,
right.
rather than losing, 1 million and up.
Right. For sure.
Jin, if you can solo bash the Elder Demon, that's really good. But the thing is that they changed it since the last time I was around there. I had no idea, and I ran in and I tried to, hit and run and do the brave thing. And I'm not, I'm not a big whale, but I have artifacts and I can stand up and fight for a bit. But that one was not nice. It was just it did not work. So
No.
not sure when you did it. So
Yeah, and I was gonna say too, in relation to our next topic, one of the next topics that I had put earlier this week was a bit of like the class lead discussion, and I still want to do class lead discussion, but like on second thought, I think it would be better to do it when we have a bunch of people. Like I think it would be good for next episode to be like just about class leads and maybe a little of other stuff, but like I would like to do one big class lead episode. Maybe with like because I know Siden wanted to talk about it, but I'm also I think we're gonna try if they're available to have Bullrock and Iced on because they're really into the class lead stuff.
Orok would probably be a good one for that one.
Like if they're interested in doing it still and they want to talk about that because I know they're both really into that stuff. I think it would be good to like dedicate a whole episode to it.
Yeah.
Instead of just like one segment of an episode.
Yeah, and honestly, I can't speak to that because I don't ever read them. I just kind of accept it when they happen in game, and if I don't like it, I fuck after the fact.
You just accept your fate. You just don't take part in the process. You just come what
Pretty-
may.
It's above my pay
The
grade.
chapter, but I'm not involved in it. I mean, I'm not knowledgeable enough to suggest things that I feel are good enough in a report to because I don't know how to balance things. I'm not good enough in combat situation to be able to come up with a good solution for something. The only class I really know somewhat well is the shapeshifter class.
I love
So
shapeshifter. It's so awesome.
yeah, and I'm not good enough, and I don't know enough of other classes to have an opinion on how I can change shapeshifter to be better balanced and change things for the better for that one without ruining things for other people. And
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm holding off from
I will,
Yeah.
making.
go ahead, Isia.
Oh, I was just gonna go back to like the balancing things because I remember they had nerfed Sentinel damage because of PK situations, but then it crippled our bashing.
Right. For sure.
Yeah, they've done some of that for Psyomancers as well.
And I feel like that's one of those things where I don't feel like I can make a report on how to fix that because I also don't understand how to balance things.
I think on the last round of class leads, did they like buff Sentinel bashing a little bit? Wasn't that one of the changes that was made?
Wasn't very much, honestly.
Okay.
Like I love Sentinel. It's my favorite class in the game. And I'm bashing a Warden right now because I die so much more in Sentinel.
Right.
And it used to not be that way. It was a matter of kill the things before they kill you. But now I don't have the damage to kill the things before they kill me.
Right.
Right.
Yep. It's
Well,
unfortunate.
I think that's all we can say about class leads.
Yeah.
Because it's more like, yep,
Yeah. Well,
we don't know, we don't dare do much because we
I
can't
also
balance.
just like I'd like to have more of the class leads submitted to be able to talk about anyway. So
Yeah.
if we can get people on that specifically want to talk about that, we'll do a whole show about it next week.
Yeah.
And then yeah, we had a few more things here. One thing I put in my notepad here that is not in the Discord was Tiani, I think you had mentioned like a topic during the week. I think you were talking about it with Mule in the Discord that you wanted to mention about people playing their 18-year-old characters like they're, hundreds of years old, basically, like with their
Yeah.
knowledge and stuff.
It's a very small pet peeve of mine, I think. It's just that one thing that people have problems with character separation. So if you're alting, and this is one of the reasons why I'm not alting, because I don't want to end up in a situation where I need to separate things. But I can do it because my characters are so different, the two that I actually have that I play. But when you play an old character and you're part of events, and then after a long while you make an alt, and you have an 18-year-old who suddenly speaks very knowledgeably about the event that your other character was in, it makes it a bit strange because the immersion is not there anymore, and it sort of makes it feel like you are metagaming with your own characters. You're not really adhering to the seconds part where you're supposed to
Yes.
separate things.
It feels very much
If,
seconds
I
a
mean,
piece.
you can ask someone about an event. Yes, you can interview people and claim that you have been told things uh, in game, but I would rather that people who were not part of that event would not attempt to sound like they were actually there. And there are a lot of people who are alting who are stretching things a bit too far, to say the least.
Yeah, I thought it was fascinating the thing you had said about like people knowing like a million things when their character's like super young. I've seen that from time to time, but sometimes people may not even be meaning to sound like that. It might be one of those things where just sometimes you could just be like, oh, obviously you've played before, maybe kind of make little hints at them and stuff. But
Says something very good here. The key is to never learn anything about lore or events and just act stupid. And that I like that approach. And I think that if people make alts, they should try to adopt that more. And, act stupid and act like you don't know things in the beginning because it opens up for so much more RP. Just makes it more fun.
Yeah, it's just like when I made this character, I had been about 4 years since I had played Atolia, and it was on a completely different side. So like when I would say and I had to kind of relearn how to play the game because it had been 4 years, but like, I was pretty familiar with the game mechanically and whatnot. But like as far as like stuff about Spirit Tether, I legit had no idea. So it was a little easier for me to play, someone that didn't know that stuff because I didn't. So but when you're heavily invested in the game and you're just making an alt because you're bored, and it would probably behoove you to play it like you don't know the things that you don't know in character. Maybe, I don't know.
It's just that I'm event posts. Those are there. If you
Right.
can tell me what's in the event post, that's fine. But if you were, for example, if I played Essikoria and I was there at the Gate of Moston event, and I can read my character written account of that and know that as Tiani. But I would probably not know a lot of the details from that event where the frustrating bits of finding the amethysts came in, or when people from Spine's Reach and Bloodlock started attacking, because not all of those things are in the event post or in the book. So I can't go speaking about it as Tiani and saying, well, back in that time when Spine's Reach went down to Moston to fight a war. It's like that would be taking information that my character doesn't have and using it.
Yes.
And there are a lot of people in the game who accidentally probably do this because they forget that their character is probably not supposed to know that kind of detail.
Or we had a character recently who was using information from an alt and claiming their uncle or another family member told them that information, that they knew it that way. And there was an announced post recently that addressed this, where people were making their alts supposedly related to their past characters.
Yeah, they can't do that.
Yeah. I think that was like really irking me when that was going on. And then that same post also addressed people taking surnames from NPCs without, and there's like one situation where the NPC is like the last of their line, and then there's a character walking around. I'm not going to say names, but there's a character walking around with that name when the NPC is like literally the last of the line. And it's like, so how are you supposed to be related? And then you get like Lucernia has a system where, you have like actual organized families, and your surname is something that's configurable. It's not something you just tack onto a title. And for the families there who have historical names, they have to go through admin and get approved to use that name. And they have to write a history proving how their family is related to that non-player character. And I think that would be something really cool to implement.
Yeah, this is a good segue because I think me and you were talking about this. Yeah, I was DMing you about this topic before. One of the topics I had is we talk about a lot of the in-game systems in the past on the show, and one thing I wanted to talk about that I don't think we talked about before was the bloodline system as it exists in game.
Yeah.
Because like I was telling Isia, like, and she was telling me about the Listernia bloodline system. The one in Empyrean, even from like near the beginning of the launch of that game, when granted Aetolia had already been open by that point, the bloodline system on Empyrean was way better than what we still have on Aetolia. Like on Aetolia, you can literally only bloodline someone as child, right? At least that's what the help file says, right? And I know on Empyrean you could bloodline people as your sibling, and
Yeah.
and I know there was some people that didn't like the family implementation on Empyrean and the bloodline system, but I think it's really interesting to be able to create your own family tree like that inside your bloodline with a sibling, and so that way you have like if you're like me and you make your own family name, I can start with me and my siblings, and then all of our children are like
Yeah.
yeah, as opposed to everybody just being child over and over.
Yes, and on Listernia, you also have the option. You can found a family as siblings, but then spouses can also form a family.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, you can have an adoption-based family.
Well,
So-
here's the thing. Bloodline in Itolia is, it's only biological children, according to the help file.
Right.
The problem there is that a lot of people don't see it as that. And the reason why I know this is because when I was starting out as a player on Essicoria, my character was adopted. All right, so I had not read any help files because I was so new to MUDs. I barely knew what a help file was. I was just role playing, having fun, and then she was approached and was adopted into a family. And at some point there, after being bloodlined by the mother, she had a change of heart and thought that this family is probably not good for me. So she decided to approach someone else and say, "Hi, can you be the father instead?" And that caused a huge ruckus. Let me tell you, that was drama. Because all of a sudden, the people who adopted on the other side, who saw it as an adoption, not, bloodlining as welcome to biological family kind of thing. The other side was the biological part, and they were like, "Now it looks like I've been involved with this person, and I've never been involved with them, and this is, woo."
I had
Sitting in the middle and being like, what happened?
I had that happen with me actually. When I was Ashlia, somebody ended up getting me and Maximus to bloodline them.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Maximus and Ashlia ran around trying to kill each other over it, all over Durin for the longest time. And then the funny part is they ended up together. But
they weren't at the time. So
they weren't at the time, and they had never been involved with each other. And then suddenly they've got a child with one another.
Yeah. And I mean, there needs to be an adoption system because a lot of people, they don't have biological children because they don't wait for them for 18 years to, pop up in the game. And a lot of people, when they come into the game, they might want that family option, but they don't want to go like, "Oh, I'm looking for my family. Are you my mom?" It's like,
or you have to
do that, but other people are like, "Yeah, I just want to be part of a family. Can you please adopt me?" And there is no system about that. So
yeah,
it would be nice if that. But I was told back in the days that no one wanted to touch the bloodline system, and
I heard that too.
admin can correct me if I'm wrong, but basically what they said was that if we touch anything in the bloodline system, we might break the game because it's the oldest and most complicated part of the code in there.
Well,
and it's connected and tied to so many things that pull a string we don't understand, and it might wreck a lot of things that we're not, interested in messing with.
I will say that I've heard that too. That sounds familiar. It's probably was said to this at the same time to me and you when we were up there together.
Yeah, probably.
That's probably why we both remember that. However, I will say that as far as old commands go and breaking things, I would have thought that as well about the look command, but they changed that recently too. So I think
so.
I just wonder if that's still true or not. And I think that family is very important to the whole game. And I think that being able to do more with Bloodline would be super cool to see. I think that the fact that you can only do as child is kind of silly. But that's just my opinion. I think it's one of those things that has been the way it's been forever, and sometimes you forget about it even existing sometimes. And I just wanted to talk about it a little bit because I was just thinking, man, it'd be really cool. I'm building my family. I've asked some people to be in my family, but they're all siblings, and I can't officially do anything with that. It's just a suffix, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make a post disowning them as your sibling. You've done that.
Yeah, I did.
But it's an interesting system, and I mean, since I was introduced to the bloodline system the way I was introduced to it, I have not ever really hardlined it as biological, even though the help file says it is. Uh, Mostly because of so many people ignoring it. So, oh, sorry.
Yeah. But, we don't really know how difficult it would be to change bloodlines. That's definitely up to the pools, but I think it's important to know that there's probably quite a few of us that would love it if bloodline had more functionality. I think that's the moral of the story here. It would be cool. And Tiani's run off, so how are you doing, Isia? Are you enjoying the stream for the first time?
This isn't the first time I've listened to the stream.
No, I mean like being on the stream.
It's better than I thought it would be. My dog's about to start getting loud though, so you're going to get to hear her.
That's fine. We love puppers.
No, it's better than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to like freeze up and not have anything to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got the weekly pupper stone for the week. That's good. Love puppers. Woof woof. Yeah. And I think the last topic that I had for the week, the last official topic was just our general stories from the week thing. Is there anything like roleplay wise or anything non-event related or, October event related that happened to you or your character this week that you wanted to talk about a little bit?
See, now I'm drawing blank.
Nothing stands out.
Like, Tiani went away and now I don't remember anything. It just like melted away.
Melted away. There was drama in Anorian, according to Artsy Fartsy.
There was drama in Anorian. Actually, it prevented me from getting ready for the Great Hunt because it continued on into the Howling yesterday. And I was very actually mad about it because, I'm like city leader and I'm trying to, go do something that like an organized event. And we have this thief show up in Anorian. And the thief like knocks Kalina over the head after holding a knife to her throat and pulls the knife on Isia. And apparently, okay, so I went and took a nap yesterday to be ready for the Great Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And while I'm taking my nap, apparently Oba volunteers as tribute to go try to lure the thief and is successful. And so the thief goes and like apparently holds like the knife on Oba's throat, and Oba and Rue are in there trying to de-escalate, and Isid comes in and kills the thief, and it was like this whole big kerfluffle. So I log in and I've got messages about it, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to deal with this right now. And so, which I kind of didn't deal with it as well as I could have. Like actually at the end of it, I was like, I'm leaving, bye. But
peace out.
Yeah, I didn't really care for the timing of it, considering like a world event was about to start.
Right.
And so yeah, that was there other drama this week, or was that? I think that might have been about it.
Yeah, I know that happened while I wasn't logged in, I think, and then I had read the post about it because Kalina had made a Templars post about it that I read while I was at work on my phone, and then I forget when it was, but like the brutish man or whatever was messing with Taj, apparently TAJ, while I was on, and I was like the only Templar on. It was like real early in the morning, I guess, and then I followed a bit of that, and that's about all I've heard of it. So nobody's tried to put a knife to my throat yet, unfortunately. So
yeah, I've avoided that same fate as well. I just had something else that happened this week and I lost it. Was there a post about it?
Speaking of Oba, OBA, our squire in the Templars that you were talking about, she finally got the 100 this past week, which was really cool for her.
That is fun to see when new characters ascend.
Yeah, I was helping her with it, but for the most part, she did a lot of the bashing herself, and she was excited about that. And what else did happen this past week? We had some of the days of the week events everybody knows about. Those
I
were fun.
remember.
Oh, here we go.
Chris came in and he decided he was going to mark the landward gate
Who?
at Eriseth.
Oh, okay.
And so he shapeshifter marked so it would show that his location.
Right.
And there was a big kerfluffle about that. And Srain comes in and decides he marks the area to remove Eriseth's
Oh, okay.
mark. And then there were people saying, "Oh, now you smell like Eriseth." And so it turned into this big thing where people were dumping water on Srain and offering to set him on fire to clean him properly and giving him soap.
Oh my goodness.
And he's grumbling about the things I do for this city.
Right.
And that was probably one of the funnier moments of the week for me.
That's cool. I missed that one too. That sounds like it was fun. Oh goodness. All right. I was gonna say in chat here, or I was going to say in stream here. Anyone who's listening and doesn't have the chat up or the stream up, I went ahead and started the credit giveaway. Anybody's welcome to type !1. Even the guests on the stream are allowed to do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell me twice. I like free credit.
Well, all the Sryan has done it before. He's actually won it once or twice. So, everybody types that in chat, and they can be entered into the 50 credit giveaway. After this one, I think we have 700 more credits that were donated total to give away. So, that's always fun. And yeah, and we're gonna continue to work on making like I said, emotes and stuff. And I was thinking about because the subscriber badges, there's 6 different ones you can have. I was thinking about making them because we had talked about making city points, the channel points. I was thinking about maybe making the 6 subscriber badges be city ranks, but I'm not really committed to that yet. But I think I hope Tiani's okay. She hasn't been back in a while. What do credits do? You know what credits do. You have don't you have a bazillion credits or whatever? You're always giving me credits to reroll relic pieces or whatever.
Credits, Jen. In-game credits. Not for here.
Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot. Jen, I'm sorry, Jen. I forgot you were a little new to Twitch. Yeah, basically every stream like this, we give away 50 credits in game to a random person. Yep, and just do like they're doing in chat. You can type !1 and enter in the giveaway, and I'll draw the giveaway near the end. Yes, Ayatollah credits. We have given them away every week for the past 3 months we've done the show. Who was it, Isia? What is he talking about? That offered to catch Sryan on fire.
I think it might have been Jura. Jura was definitely there. Jura did dump water on him. And some little random novice gave him a bar of soap, and it was really cute.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's see here. Well, I think we're out of topics for the week. And Tiani's not back. I hope she's okay. Hopefully her cat didn't, destroy her or something. I don't know. Let's see here.
Why would her cat destroy her?
I don't know. Have you ever had a cat? They're not the nicest creatures.
I have 2 dogs, 4 cats, 2 hedgehogs, and a fish.
Hello. I am so sorry about that.
It's okay. I was just wondering aloud if your cat had killed you or something.
I know my daughter called me and needed me to help her calm down from tears because of. So yeah, I was being a good mom, making sure that she started laughing. So everything's good now.
Okay. Yeah, I think we kind of went through most of the topics. Unless you had mentioned that you had some stories from the week. We were talking about that. You got anything that happened to you during the weekend game you wanted to discuss?
Yeah, well, since last time I was on the stream, at least, my character is an avid explorer, so she's been trying to figure out how to find the last pieces of all the areas. So she's been moving around, trying to talk to people, and she's been reaching out to different organizations that are gatekeeping areas or parts of areas behind their ranks. So she managed to get Meltas to show her around in Iasin's temple, for example.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't had much luck when it comes to chakra souls yet because no one knows how to get around there. But she sent a message to Chakra Soul herself. And she also reached out to Omei's representatives to see if she could get in there. And just for asking, she got killed.
No, good
And
grief.
it's a frustrating thing for me because I sort of think it's not very fair that a lot of organizations can gatekeep things like that, and it's impossible to get through. For example, I really don't like that the Sisson can hold on to such a big part of the Western wilderness. That Omei can gatekeep 2 areas with a large portion of each. Iasin's lair, at least if you speak to them and RP, they can show you around. At least they've done.
I got threatened when I asked about that one, so that was a no-go for me.
Maybe, I mean, yeah, but I mean, threatened. I can take threatened over being killed. So I'll just try to find a different approach.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, I wish that all the areas that are closed behind some kind of organization rank is removed from the ranking system, because the ranking system is supposed to be accessible. I understand the need for approaching people and trying to create a situation where you interact with other people and cross tether interaction and stuff, but it should perhaps lead to something instead of just, being killed. Also, stock rooms, as Jin mentioned, stock rooms is basically inviting people to play unfair by trying to sneak in or to follow people as, trying to steal things.
You can burrow below most stock rooms except for Bloodlog. Like, I am at 83% in Bloodlog because stock rooms, because they're all down there. So that's a little bit of a, unfair edge, like, because citizens can obviously get in there by asking other citizens, but they're not going to take somebody from Spirit Side underneath there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it's also like, it doesn't make sense, like the way the temples are set up, where which ones count and which ones don't. Because like Darkest Inner Sanctum is the soul plane, and it doesn't count. But then the rooms in Chakra Soul's temple, those count. I was seeing fear counts. So like, where is the sense to be made of this?
Yeah, and I can understand an order wanting to have an inner sanctum. It's fine. Keep an inner sanctum, but remove it from the ranking system. It doesn't have to be part of the ranking system. There can be a room for each city to make sure that they can go in and not be reached, but keep it off the ranking system. I would be perfectly fine with that. I think that most of the things that I have left, not all of them, but most of the things that I have left are either locked down because of events that have not been picked up again and have not been removed from ranking. They are stock rooms, or they are gate kept behind an organization of some form. For example, the Sentinel room in the Eastern Isthmia can't even be followed or prisoned or anything to get into. The same thing goes for the secret library up in Spines Reach. It can't be followed, and it can't be. You can follow someone inside, but you can't do anything else, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think I tested it with Meltus. Maybe you can't even follow inside. So that's basically the same thing as the Eastern Isthmia thing. And I would prefer if that was, changed so you could either get in or it was removed from ranking.
Yeah. I'm glad we just talked about explorers. That you know, I'm
Yeah.
not super into it. I know that people like you all that are into it are really into it. My own ranking, I mean, it actually increased again recently. I finally went and wandered around the hive on Ulangi like the other day for the first time. I was like, all right, I have free time. I'm gonna go do this, and I actually killed the big queen like Queen Hokali thing at the end by myself, but like I didn't even know if there was somewhere to turn that in. But regardless, like I'm a Terran master now, and I have a 119, and I've just consequently got that. But like I'm at the point now where I'm considering getting the Atlas thing just because I'm like, well, I can go to these areas and path
You
around
need
them and do it. And
Atlas to get to the top tier of everything. But I mean, most people up. I think that most of us up in the top ranks are quite helpful when it comes to helping people explore because we are passionate about it. We want to explore everything and we want to make sure that we get 100% everywhere. So I'm usually not adverse to running people around or helping them find areas or helping them find places that they haven't been able to explore.
right,
Um, as long as people approach me in character, I'm not very keen on people, saying, "Hi, can you just point me to this room?" Out of character. I want the payment for my services is in-game interaction, basically.
yeah, yep. All right. Well, we're gonna probably be ending here in a minute. If anybody else wants to enter that credit giveaway, because I see there's only 7 people entered, and my thing here says there's like 20 viewers in chat. So if you guys want to enter, go ahead and enter before I end it. Oh, look at that, Tiani entered it. Is there anything else you all wanted to mention before we get out of here?
You were circling back to Kingslayer.
Oh, that's right. Absolutely. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah. So they made that post about Kingslayer. I think it's the newest announcement post, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the rules and registration. I'm still probably not gonna mess around with Kingslayer because I've never done it at all yet, and I can't imagine wanting to enter a tournament for it without knowing even how to play it or where to get the decks. But um, I mean, it seems like it's pretty cool. I'm just not like there's that whole supposed role play with the Templars and them like banning it in the guild and stuff or something. I don't know. I just
Because Sarayan is as paranoid about it as Isia is. Even though Demariel has gone out of his way now to tell Isia that it's okay, it's just a game.
oh okay, gotcha. What do we got here? Oh my gosh, what is this?
Let's see, it's art.
It looks.
We get some art.
Is that a cat version of Omei? Like I don't even know. Is that what that is?
It looks like it.
Good grief.
The cat version of Omei. Omei is kind of cat-like if you've ever seen her.
Yeah. Let's see here.
I love the style.
That's like, are you a human version of you?
Oh, good grief. I don't have it. I don't have a thing to pull it up. Oh, yes I do. Where's my Chrome thing? There we go.
Enjoy Omei because I've met up with Omei in character and she's always been sort of fascinating. It's been interesting. She hasn't been adverse to role playing or interacting with a shadow person like myself.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah. Look at that. It's pretty cool looking.
I
love
pose.
stuff like that. Perfect. Look at that. That is beautiful. I hope we see a ton of stuff like that in the artisanal. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I'm really looking for. I hope that they plan on showing all the art that is sent in and not just the winners.
Yeah, that's definitely worth noting for sure. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the giveaway. We have 8 people that entered. I'm gonna click close. We're gonna draw a winner. Oh, I hit it twice on accident. So the first one that was posted is the winner. Oh, well, that's weird. How strange. In the chat here, it only shows one person, but I had hit it twice on accident and it showed somebody else. Well, thank goodness it only showed one in chat. Now I don't have to disappoint the second person that it listed on the website. All right, let's see. I gotta do it. I gotta do it in stream too. It's a thing here. I gotta prove that I did it.
Always a good thing.
Yep. There we go.
Congrats, Mole.
Yep.
The big troll.
Mole's gonna have all the credits after October. Doing work this month, it seems. But yeah, we're gonna keep working on all the things that we got because of you guys getting affiliate. I like I said before, I'll shorten the ads as soon as we're done here. And if anybody wants to skip the ads, they can subscribe. I will also mention that if you want to, if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free. You can tie your Amazon account to your Twitch account and subscribe for free if you feel like it. That's a thing you can do. And yeah, next time, I think between now and next week, I'm gonna talk to some of those people that haven't been on yet that might want to do class leads, and we'll probably have one big giant class lead episode next time. I think that's the plan. Either that or the week after, whichever one is more convenient for everyone. So, yeah, thanks everyone for coming. I don't think I have anyone that I want to raid that's online, so we'll just all get back to Atolia. We'll do some more great hunt, probably eat some dinner, and see you next week.
Enjoy the hunting.
Bye.
Bye.